Well, aloha. It's the greatest here of all time. Sports fan traveler. People ask me, Mr. Sports Travel, what do you do early in the morning? There's no sports going on other than people just sort of jogging or walking. I go to the beach. It's not even 8 o'clock yet. Sun rises here at 6:30. Here, I present to you, under my lone palm, Jimmy Buffett, the Cayman Islands. I'm on the east end, going toward the eastern part of the island, Grand Cayman. Ooh, isn't she gorgeous? Me, of course, and the beach. Yeah. It's a Thursday, a thirsty Thursday, 26 February 2026. I'm getting my kicks. I'm at the end of my Caribbean Mon trip where I'm trying to see every territory, country in the Caribbean, in the backyard of North America, in the United States of America. And I only got 2 left after today. Haiti, my last country, and the Turks and Caicos, my last territory. Last night I got here to the Cayman, saw some sports. Now it's like, this is what I do before the sporting events. Today's a non-sports travel day, boys and girls. It's a travel day. I go back to see my cousin in Miami, and then tomorrow I go to Haiti. So, it's a tough life, I know. Let me get out of the way so you can see it. I know it's hard because I'm so pretty, but let's take a look. Now, one thing about the Caymans you need to know that they ain't going to tell you in the tourist brochure, you don't need to cover your ears a little bit now. Holy shit, there's a lot of traffic here. I was out and about around 6:30 to 7 o'clock. The traffic here is like Houston, like New York, like any American major city in the morning. I'm not kidding you. Which direction do you think I went? I went the opposite direction. The town of Georgetown, and that's 2 words, not one like the university, like Georgetown, Guyana. No. Georgetown, capital of the Cayman Islands, Grand Cayman here, is 2 words. Capital G, capital T. Yeah, there's a lot of traffic. Holy, yeah, Scooter, there's a lot of traffic. Boys and girls, I'm gonna spin the camera this way, because that's what I do for you, dog. My face, it's on in recovery mode. You seen some of my earlier videos a couple days ago? Yeah, my face was a disgrace. But the dry skin, yeah, I gotta stay pretty. We're gonna go this way, and I think I'm on private land, so hopefully they don't go to shoot me. Then I gotta go. Here we go. Boys and girls, hope you enjoyed the private beach spinorama. I'm not supposed to be here, panorama. And I'm only here for 1 day, so I got to go, Kokomo. Until the next video, yo. Well, aloha, boys and girls, children of all ages. It's the go here. Working very hard as usual, but my life is a permanent vacation. Sports travel, last night I had a couple beers. And the beach, when I'm out at the sporting event, that's my only medication. Where is Mr. Sports Travel? I sure as hell ain't in Antarctica. I'm in North America. I'm in the Caribbean. I'm in my second to last territory ever to visit in the Caribbean. I only got 1 more left. Are you ready? I'm in the Cayman Islands. God save the Queen! It's a British territory. You didn't know it? What's my last one? I don't want to jinx it, you know? And I got 1 more country left, too, in the Americas. And I don't want to jinx it, too. So 2 more destinations on this here trip. Boys and girls, enjoy the view. I'll circle right back. So here's the deal. Lemon peel. It is a Thirsty Thursday, 26 February 2026. I'm always getting my kicks. Boys and girls, I am on the west side of the island of Grand Cayman. The pretty much the metropolis of Grand Cayman. Man, you should have seen the traffic this morning. People don't think people work on these islands. Oh yeah, people work. The traffic between 6:30 and 7, yeah, I was going the other direction. I was on the east end. I was going toward the east end. People were coming from the east end to the west end, going to Georgetown. Georgetown's over that way. Big cruise ships were coming in. Yeah, I'm not a crowd guy. I am at a sporting event. I love the roar of the crowd, the sporting event. That's what we love about sports. Sports are part of the fan experience. Fans are part of the experience. When I go to the beach now, I don't want to see a lot of tourists. I don't want to see a lot of people. I want to see nature. That's what we got behind me. So, it's time for the brief Mr. Sports Travel trip recap. Brought to you by me, the greatest of all time sports fan traveler. I left San Diego, speaking of the sun, on 10 February on an overnight flight to see one of several cousins in Miami. And then I changed planes after seeing that first cousin to Nassau, the Bahamas. Had I been there before? Is that a trick question? Of course I've been there before, fool. It had been a long time, about 20 years. So I saw some basketball on the 11th, and then on the 12th, I was double dipping, as my friend would say. I saw some football, Americans happy soccer, and then I saw some more basketball. And then on the 13th, that was more or less a travel day. Kind of, sort of. I flew from Nassau back to see my second cousin in Miami. Not my second cousin, like a second cousin. Stay with me now. And then I changed planes to fly from Miami to St. Martin. And then before the sunset, I saw some track and field. See, I make the most out of every day. And then on Saturday, Valentine's Day, I took a boat. The goat? I would be the goat. The greatest of all time sportsman. I took a boat to Anguilla. Anguilla. It's a British territory. Here we go. God save the Queen. And I saw some football. Yeah, they're not very good. I saw them also play in Curacao. More on that in a minute. But it was a local match, a youth match. So that was on Valentine's Day. Then before the sunset, I took the boat back from Anguilla to St. Martin. It takes about an hour, maybe 30 minutes. Honestly, when you're relaxing and chilling, you lose track of time. So then we started a new week, boys and girls, on Sunday the 15th. I had an early flight from St. Martin, that's the Dutch side. There's also the French side. More on that in a minute. I flew to Montserrat. Now the boat I got back from Anguilla, that was on the French side. But the airport I flew to Montserrat, yeah, that's on the Dutch side. So I was in Montserrat for 2 nights. Ooh, Montserrat, that's a mountainous island. It ain't like here. This may be British, that may be British. There's no comparison. Cayman Islands is like Nassau. It's like flat, expensive, touristy, at least in Georgetown. Now this morning I went out island. It wasn't touristy. Montserrat, I don't think I saw one tourist. Now they had a big volcano explosion in the mid-90s. Yeah. Half the island is bye-bye. Nobody lives there. But very mountainous, very pretty, a lot of black sand beaches. In fact, there's only one non-black sand beach, maybe 2 on the whole island. And of course I saw them. Didn't see any sports there because they lost a lot of their population when the volcano happened. Believe me, I inquired. I did go by the National Football Stadium, and I did see a mini football pitch in Lookout, appropriately named Lookout, because it's got a beautiful view, and I think I even got some video. So then on the 17th in the morning, I flew from Montserrat back to St. Martin. I just changed planes, and my final destination was Statia. Stay what? Statia. You ever heard of it? Yeah, you have now. S-T-A-T-I-A. It's part of the Netherlands. I don't have a God Save the Queen for you on that one. Statia is the second smallest of all the Dutch islands in the Caribbean. So I was there for 2 nights. Walked around, chilled, had a good time. Didn't see no sport. I did tour a gym. And that was it. And then I went to Saba. Saba's the smallest island. And believe me, I inquired about sports on these 2 islands. Yeah, there was nothing going on. And in Saba, I rented a cat because it's very hilly. And I had a good time there. And from Saba, I flew back to St. Martin. That was on the 19th. Stayed on the Dutch side on the 19th. And where did I go on the 20th? I went to St. Bart's. Now that's French. St. Bart's, probably my prettiest island on this here trip so far. Although I like Montserrat. I'm going to say they're about Thai. I don't like Thais, but here I'm going to give it to Thai. 1 British and 1 French. So I was in St. Bart's for the day, took a boat from St. Martin, but then later that day I took a plane, Jane. Party of 4. One pilot, 3 passengers, one of those passengers was like, man, I flew to St. Thomas. Now that's in the United States of America. I flew Cape Air. You ever heard of it? Me neither until I flew it. It's got a turtle on the side of the plane. Yeah, there's no bedroom service. I mean, better not be bedroom. Mile High Club, and there's no bathrooms. There's no beverage service. That's what I mean. I landed in St. Thomas on the 21st, a week after Valentine's Day. And the next day, what did I do? Oh, I saw some goal! Actually, got my days wrong. It was Friday the 20th. So on Saturday the 21st, Valentine's Saturday, football in Anguilla. A week later, 21, February Saturday, U.S. Virgin Islands, also youth football. So then we started a new week, but before I did that, I took another boat. The GOAT got on another boat to the British Virgin Islands, Tortolo. So I went from St. Thomas to Tortolo. That takes about an hour. Oh, I got some good pictures and some video. Check that out. So then I started a new week, which was Sunday, 22 February. That's the week we're in right now, boys and girls. And in the British Virgin Islands, I spent the whole day enjoying Tortolo, very hilly, kind of like Montserrat, but not as hilly. And it's a British Virgin Island, so it's God save the Queen. And later that day, I saw some football. Go! Before my flight that night back to St. Martin. This is sports show. I've been to St. Martin a lot of times. Yeah. It's like a spoke in a wheel, you know? It's like, you know how the airlines, you know, Chicago, Dallas, middle of the country, that's St. Martin in the Caribbean, okay? So then, the morning of the 23rd, I flew back to Curacao for a second time. And I did take, man, thinking now about. I was there in 2024 June thinking, these cats ain't gonna make the World Cup, it's a territory. Boys and girls, that's what we love about sport. You never know what's gonna happen. When I went in 2024 June, they was playing baseball. I like baseball, it's my favorite sport. So I went on this trip to see some football. On Monday, I saw 5 different sporting events. 4 of them was football, Americans, out with soccer. The other one was volleyball. I've already seen volleyball on all 6 continents, as I have with 7 other sports. Of course, one of them is one of them is baseball, one of them is basketball. You want to know what the others are? How about cricket? That's the ticket. Aquatic sports, horse racing, and what's the other one? I've seen some sports, I forget myself. Come on, Joe, you can do it. I'm getting old. You know, I'm getting older. I'm still pretty. Like a girl. It'll come back to me what the 8th sport is. Anyhow, I spent 2 nights in Curacao. Ooh, I got my rhymes. And on Tuesday, I saw the Curacao national team play Guyana. They won 3-2. Boogaloo. Now, speaking of Anguilla, I saw them play earlier that day, Tuesday. That would be 2 days ago, today's Thursday. And they lost 6-0 for the same. Yeah, it didn't go too well. Anguilla, very small island. And then yesterday, I flew from Curacao to St. Martin. Check that. I flew from Curacao to Miami to see my third cousin. A third cousin. See, I'm even not confused myself. And then I flew from Miami here to Grand Cayman. And last night, there was no matches going on. It's a Wednesday night. I saw the national women's team train, and I got permission because, of course, I did. I'm pretty on the greatest. And then I saw some futsal. And what else I see? Ooh, I went by the National Stadium, which is different from where they was training, where the national team was training. Whew. And this morning I woke up and I've been going to beaches. So that's my life since 10 February 2026. And this trip, you know, like on a scale of 10 being crazy and 1 being mellow, this is like a 1. Yeah. You're like, what? Yeah, it's like a 1. Now tomorrow, actually later today, I'm flying for Grand Cayman back to see a 4th cousin in Miami. Not my 4th cousin, a 4th cousin. And then tomorrow morning, I'm flying from Miami to Haiti. You say what? Yeah, I'm flying to Haiti. Cape Haitian. It's okay, don't worry. Port-au-Prince, that's the shit show. I ain't going to the shit show. Cape Haitian, second city. Never been to Haiti. See, I gave it away. Damn, I was trying to leave you in suspense. Wish me luck that I get there. And then I'm going to save the last territory for when I get there. Boys and girls, over here you have tourists paying too much for their hotel, working on their very bad tan, and the sea is the same colors you're seeing here, and you're seeing the prettiest thing that ever was, is now, and ever will be. So this is the view. Hope you enjoyed the show. I really do have to go because I got to get to the airport, Kokomo. Aloha. Aloha, boys and girls. It's the GOAT here, leaving the Cayman Islands. Was it my favorite? Was it my worst? Definitely wasn't my favorite. Not sure if it was my worst, but it's hard to say worst when it's a very small amount of traveler. Here's the plane, Jane. Cayman Airways. Probably never fly it again. Some of the people in the customer service, they're not so nice. That's not good. So boys and girls, ramping it on up, here's the flag. That's the flag of the Cayman Islands. And that's the flag of God save the Queen for you guys. And here's the plane, Jane. Look at me, I look pretty with the plane behind me, without me. Here's the final spinorama. Hope you enjoyed the show. Gotta go, Kokomo.